The shooting reopening the gun control debate in Washington. A bill by 2 Democratic senators aims to ban the so-called bump stock. That's the device legalized by the Obama administration and used by the Vegas gunman. It enables semi-automatic weapons to simulate rapid, fully automatic fire. Some Republicans already hinting that they could support that ban. Here's House Speaker Paul Ryan on that.
I think we're quickly coming up to speed with what this is. Fully automatic weapons have been banned for a long time. Apparently, this allows you to take a semi-automatic, turn it into a fully automatic. So clearly, that's something we need to look into.
Joining me now is House Majority Leader California Congressman Kevin McCarthy, who traveled with President Trump to Las Vegas yesterday. And, sir, I understand that a couple of your constituents were killed on that night in Las Vegas. And so that's one of the reasons you made the trip yesterday.
I lost 4 constituents that day, from Bailey Schweitzer, 20 years old, to Jack Beaton, who was celebrating his 23rd anniversary with his wife. When the shots rang out, he became a shield for his wife. And he gave the ultimate sacrifices of life to protect her. I have an off-duty officer, Bakersfield police officer, that I went to visit yesterday, Aaron, who's in the hospital. He's doing much better. But there were 8 total constituents at that concert that were wounded and 4 who were killed.
What was it like yesterday to be with President Trump on the flight and then with him when he was visiting? Because he's had to do a lot of sort of disaster recovery in these types of visits. And I thought yesterday he was actually quite inspiring when he spoke after he had seen some of the patients.
Well, you know how difficult this is in a situation like this for a president. And think about what his week was, going to Puerto Rico and then the very next day going out here. And I felt the president and the first lady was moved by what they saw, but I also felt his words were helping America heal. I saw personally the way he met with those who were wounded. He uplifted them, inspired them, but it moved him personally. And I watched from the first responders. He just has a special connection with them. And we had others than just first responders, those individuals out there that just ran out and helped, not knowing anybody that was even hurt, but risked themselves to help them as well.
Yeah.
I thought yesterday was a day that to move past a terrible situation, but start the process of healing. I thought that was one of his finest days as president.
Well, I agree. I do want to get to politics here because Hillary Clinton has been on her book tour, and she's not stopped in any way going after Republicans. Listen to this. I'd like to get your reaction.
It is a sign of the deep dysfunction of this government and this Republican Party that has been taken over by extreme elements to the point that they are doing whatever they're told to do.
Do you feel like they're complicit, the GOP, the NRA, in the gun epidemic we're seeing in America?
Of course they are. Of course they are.
I mean, complicit, that's quite an accusation. What do you make of her comments?
It's just not true. But look at the difference. Look at the difference of what President Trump did yesterday, bringing the nation together to heal, and her comments. I mean, and when you sit and look back about this idea, when you talk firearms and an act of 1934, and you look at a bump stock, it came into place with an ATF under President Barack Obama. And that's when Democrats controlled both sides. So I think let's look at the whole investigation. Let's not put politics into this. People lost their lives. And I think the way President Trump handled it is the correct way and really a presidential way.
Do you think that the Congress could move pretty quickly if there is agreement on banning of bump stocks? Could you see that passing fairly soon?
This is definitely an area we should look at. When you look at the 1934 Act, this seems like it goes directly against it. I don't know why the ATF actually approved this under Barack Obama, but I think a lot of individuals want to make sure they look at it. The one thing I do want to do is let's let the sheriff and the authorities carry out their entire investigation, but I think this is definitely an area we're going to look and be able to act on. Another
place where you are looking at all the facts and you want hearings is on the idea of tech giants and the role that they are playing. I think you called it yesterday on the Hugh Hewitt show, sort of the fourth industrial revolution. And do you think that there could be possible new regulations against tech giants, or I guess maybe not against, but to help regulate tech giants because it's so new and we're all trying to grapple with it. And there's lots of things like being able to figure out how to put a bump stock on a weapon online or the recruitment of ISIS.
Well, the one thing you do want to do, you want to make sure we have security, but we have to protect our First Amendment's rights as well. And there's a way to do that, because we're living through the fourth industrial revolution, where if you just look back to 2010, when they approved the bump stock, Uber only had 3 cars, but today they're worth more than Ford, Honda, or GM. So we have to modernize our laws to keep up with the current times of where we are. And this is an area we should look at, because we want to be able to protect our citizens, but also protect our First Amendment rights. And instead of creating a new agency, I think this is a great place that we can work together with those in the Valley and those that are lawmakers as well. And let's find that we have a modernized legislation to deal with the continuing future. Let's take the traditions of the past, but let's apply it to a changing future.
It does feel like the technology has gotten ahead of the legislative process or the regulatory process, and I imagine that you would like to try to fix that.
I would most definitely like to fix that. I think from an innovation point of view, this is where this Congress should be, and we should be moving faster because we are behind. When we just passed a bill last year dealing with emails, the last time we dealt with that, Top Gun was the #1 movie. So
I loved
technology is moving quite faster.
That was a good movie, though.
That was a great movie, but we want to make sure our technology is moving just as fast as he would fly in those planes.
All right. Well, our condolences to you and your constituents, the families there. We are so sorry for all that happened, but we appreciate you coming on to talk about them today.
Thank you for your thoughts and prayers.
Okay. Thank you so much. That was Kevin McCarthy.